Greetings to you wherever you may be. I welcome you to another episode of Hot Shots. I am Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adébáyọ̀ Ìyípéjú. My greeting goes to all Nigerians on the passing of our dear former president, Muhammadu Buhari, and condolences to his family. Of course, you can all tell that on the same day, his friend, long-time friend, the Awujale of Ijebu-Ode, also passed on to go and meet with his ancestors. Well, we commiserate with the family, we commiserate with the people of Ijebu-Ode, and we commiserate with Yoruba people as well. But the passing of this eminent king, ruler, leader, quite a number of qualifications that we can put for him, because he was a brilliant king. Ṣùgbọ́n his passing has left us with a lot of controversies. Not so many of them, but a major one that tramples on culture and tradition. And so there has been different opinions coming from left, right, and center, so that we are not even sure where we should stand. Of course, a couple of people have a position on this, but then I would like to point us to a few things. Somebody asked in another commentary that how interesting or surprising would it be if a pastor gives an instruction that if he dies tomorrow, he should be buried according to Islamic rites. And likewise, if an imam should pass tomorrow, he should tell his followers that they should bury him according to Christian rites, or even according to traditional rites. How would this sound to any one of us? So a king who was installed, who went through Ipebi, who went through all the traditional rites, who was even selected, elected, or whatever terms they use when they are trying to get the king, through the process of Ifa, and then he dies, and we say no, we want to respect his wishes. We seem to have forgotten that Oba Balori Ongbogbo, like they usually would say. The Oba is Oba Lori Osho, Oba Lori Aje, Oba Lori Musulumi, Oba Lori Christianity. He is king of all. And that is why you see that at every festival, be it Islamic festival, Christian festival, or our own traditional festival, whichever one it turns out to be, that we always have to visit the palace, and we give that big respect to the palace, to Uriade. I remember the crisis that wanted to take first stage in one of these our southwestern states, when an imam was challenging the authority of the king. Funnily, the king was the pastor before he became king. Now we don't know whether he is still pastoring like he usually would do. From time immemorial, we have always seen some things will come along and they will display these things because they are so lost into their faiths. And when I say faith, I mean the earthly religion that they practice. It usually seems like an aberration to me. But what do I know? I'm not even that traditionally exposed. So I may not know as much as some of you who will be listening to this. But it is very, very important that we start to talk about these issues. We start to lecture ourselves. What is the place of tradition? What is the place of our imported religions? That is not to say I'm not a practitioner of one of the two religions, though. But I still want to identify with the fact that before one, there was one. That we had our culture and traditions before the people who came to sell religion to us or who came to colonize us, whichever one you choose to take there. But at the end of the day, who is at a loss in all of this? Should we abandon our tradition for foreign traditions? Or even maybe we should leave that part alone. What should be done? Should a king enjoy all the spoils of office, then at the end of the day say he is no longer a part of that whole, that he is going his separate ways? How would you feel? How would you see it? It's just important that we talk about this, but I must tell you that the late Oba Sikiru Adetono, the Awujale of Ijebu-Ode, Kolon for Nkewon, he is one king that I have tremendous respect for. Or should I say hard now? He will remain in my memories at that level of authority. His boldness and his sincerity until his demise. The only thing that I have found awkward about him is just this one. Yet, I may be right or I may be wrong. Well, most times it's neither here nor there. But now going forward, and think about the young king, who interestingly is somewhat a brother of mine too, saying that we have to do away with our culture and traditions. And the way he said it was that he meant that our culture is, should I say, null and void, pretty much, for want of the right words to use. Yes, I want to hear your opinion. I'm going to just show a clip of where he was saying it, but I would not release the audio. I just want you to see the king in question that is saying these things, because most likely you already know the things that he had said. He's also a king that I respect. In fact, I had made attempts to visit him a few times. But how long are we going to continue to, should I say, deceive ourselves that our culture is inferior to some other cultures? And who says that whatever the traditionalists are doing is against the will of God? It's let's just rest it at this point, but I want to hear from you. Share your thoughts about these things. Should we not give unto Caesar what is Caesar's? If you do not want to practice our traditional religions, then you should not even accept, or should you accept, to be on the throne that is governed, that is premised upon our traditional institution or our traditional religions. Ìṣẹ̀ṣe lọba Yorùbá ń ṣe. Let's hear your thoughts. Well, yes, it is a controversial discussion, and you see that sometimes we want to, because of our respect for our tradition, but please bear it all, throw your mind into this conversation. Let's hear from you. I remain yours, Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adébáyọ̀ Ìlúpéjú. See you on the next one. Àbí báwo ló ṣe máa ń sọ?